Casper and Dennis here for Submission Radio, proudly brought to you by Musashi, standing with the UFC heavyweight champion himself, Daniel Cormier, just days out from UFC 241 when he takes on Stipe Miocic. Man, how different is this media day compared to UFC 230? We spoke to you then. We remember you had the back issue, the hand, you were going in there against it. How different is the feeling for this one?
Bad. 230 was bad. Like I wasn't at 100%, and I went out there and I got the job done against a guy that had won 9 out of 10 fights, and a big guy. This is great because I know I'm well prepared. I've done everything I need to do to give myself the best opportunity to win.
We saw the training at AKA looked intense. One of the moments that stood out to us when you put on Kane's wrestling mask and started spearing people around the gym. We saw you got Khabib, you got some other people. Tell us, what is your wrestling name? What is the Daniel Cormier wrestling name?
I never thought of it that much, but I said I was going to be called El Guapo, handsome face.
El Guapo. That's Barcelona would have something to say about that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. How am I supposed to know that? I just have a lot of the hand. I thought it was pretty face. I don't even know what it means, but I know my self-value is a little bit higher, so I think I may be better looking than I really am.
What's the craziest bet you and Khabib have ever made? You guys have a funny dynamic. You guys are always going back and forth. You guys are always having little wagers. What's the craziest ones you guys have ever made?
We made a bet recently on a sparring session between two young guys, but he hasn't paid me. So
why not?
I don't know. He just didn't pay me. I don't know.
What was the amount? What does he owe you?
A lot.
Do you remember when he first met Khabib? What was your impression of him?
He was awesome because he was just so quiet, right? He just used to sit in the corner and observe. He just didn't know much English. Right now, Khabib comes with like 20 guys. Before, he was by himself. Just one kid. Sean Bunch picked him up from the airport and took him to McDonald's, and he would just sit in the corner, man, wear like polos to train. But everything he did, he observed. He watched everybody train, learn how to really work hard and become a champion. And you see it today because no matter what room he steps into, he's the hardest working guy in there.
You're obviously an Olympian. Obviously, everybody knows your wrestling pedigree. But what is it like wrestling against Khabib? When you guys are training and sparring, how I guess competitive is that? Does he feel different compared to any other lightweight? Does he even feel like a lightweight?
He feels stronger than most guys, but I don't really wrestle with those guys. They're too small. Like those, it's different, right? Like when I'm going with little guys, you can't give max effort, So rolling around with the guys is great. I think Khabib's strength is something that's insane for his size. But again, I'm 240 pounds, so. But we don't wrestle. I grapple with him, and he feels really, really strong.
Just quickly, you mentioned yesterday at the scrum that you just don't feel like you're attached to John Jones anymore because before financially, you kind of relied on that fight to bring you a lot of money. Now you're an established name. You have so many different other projects. I'm just wondering, going into this fight with Stipe, where do you sort of draw the motivation for it? I mean, fighting all this time and having so many great other opportunities that you could be doing instead.
Just defeating a guy that's so highly regarded in the history of heavyweight fighting for a second time. People think and have said on a number of occasions how great Stipe is, and I beat him. And because I beat him in the way that I did, people may consider it a fluke. But to be able to go out there and do it again, there could be no question as to who's the better fighter.
The way you beat him in the first one obviously knocked him out, such a big statement. You got to think he's got a counter to that. Do you kind of go into this fight thinking like, man, this is probably going to be a harder or at least a longer fight?
I believe it's going to be much harder and much tougher. I mean, he's got great coaches, and I'm sure that they have addressed the issues that he was having. With that being said, some of the things, like he really believes he was just winning before the fight ended, and if that's the case, maybe they prepared the same. If you're winning and you just got caught, then you just do the same thing and not get caught. So I hope that's been their approach.
We spoke to Javier Mendez yesterday, obviously a legend in the game and so on. You've had an amazing relationship with, and he mentioned how he'd be happy if you chose to retire after this fight because you have so many great other opportunities. Going into this fight, does it feel any different knowing that possibly this could be your last one? Do you make the most of any of these things like annoying media week interviews where we make you stand up out of your chair or open workouts? Is there a part of you that says, all right, this might be one of the last times that I do this?
I think as I've gotten older, I just really try to slow everything down and just take it in, enjoy the whole entire process. And I feel like I've done that. So, it's great to have options.
Is that a possibility though? Could this possibly be the last time we see Daniel Cormier in the octagon this weekend?
Yeah. This could be the last time. I could fight again. You just don't know. I mean, it's day by day right now for me.
And would that be a decision that you make long after the fight, or could that be something that comes across your mind post-fight? Maybe even in the octagon while you're there in front of all the fans in Anaheim?
I'm not a guy that's going to retire, come back. I think the guys that retire in the octagon, sometimes they do it on emotion, and they come back and forth. It's something that I would do with my family, talk with them, really discuss what I would want to do and make an educated decision. That way I'm not bouncing back and forth.
We'll wrap up with you in just a second, but just quickly, you were supposed to fight Brock Lesnar. He lost the title. Seth Rollins is the Beast Slayer, the legit Beast Slayer. What do you think about Seth Rollins sort of taking your place, beating Brock Lesnar, getting the title?
Yeah, he's the man. Seth is the man. He's a great guy, works extremely hard, and he's on TV every week. And I think with the new direction that WWE is going, they want to have that belt present. So with the new writers and the new creative direction that they're going, it's a good decision to put the belt on someone that's going to be there every week. Seth does everything. He does the house shows. He wrestles every pay-per-view. He wrestles every Monday Night Raw. So
Peter was breaking ribs.
Yeah, it's good to be there. It's good for him to be there.
And just quickly, we know you're friends with Brock Lesnar behind the scenes. Did he shot you any text messages leading into this one, saying anything like, hey, I might still come through later on or anything like that? No messages from Brock?
I haven't spoken to Brock. Last I talked to Brock was right after the fight. Didn't come to fruition. And you know what? He made a great decision. They take care of him great over there. He's a great performer. He's a great fighter. He's a great dude. And I'm just happy that he's happy.
Awesome.
We appreciate the time, Daniel. Thank you so much, more than anything, for stepping out of your comfy chair that you were sitting in.
It's like the Matrix over there.
It is. It's a beautiful chair. I got a bigger chair than everybody else.
Good luck this week in UFC 241, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you.